This closure, coupled with previously planned spring break periods, will allow all of our school systems to remain closed through April 5th.
This week marks the one-year anniversary of our school's closing. We'll take a look back at this year's transition. We'll also celebrate Women's History Month. What woman in your life are you thankful for? We're dancing because in Indiana, it's March Madness. Welcome back to BDTV. I'm Candace Robinson. It's Friday the 12th, 2021. This week marks the one-year anniversary from our schools being put on quarantine. Do you remember where you were when you got the news?
March 13th marks 1 year of COVID-19 affecting Wayne Township. 28.7 million cases and over 500,000 deaths later, and here we are. The initial strike of COVID was sudden and memorable. Let's hear from some staff and students to find out where they were when Corona hit.
When Corona first started and I got the news, I was actually at my job and they told us that the inside was going to close and no customer was allowed to come in.
I was at show choir rehearsals and it was one of our last rehearsals and it was our best rehearsal of the season. And when we got the news, it was so dreadful because it was just so sad that our season was going to get cut short.
I really didn't think it was real at first, honestly. I thought it was just something that, I don't know what I thought it was, but I didn't take too much heed on it. I didn't really take it too serious, but now that I see that people are losing their lives and it's still going on a year and a half later, we still ain't got it figured out, I take it more serious now. And I done had it twice, so that's the biggest thing. I done had it twice, so now I take it real serious.
Quarantine changed me mentally a lot. I struggled a lot with a lot of anxiety and depression and kind of getting the chance to work through that and make myself a better person mentally. It was really beneficial to me, to be quite honest.
COVID-19 and its lasting effects have changed us forever. Remember to appreciate the time you have with the people you love and stay safe, Giants. Victoria Suggs, BDTV.
Flashing back to March 2020, there are numerous things that come to mind. If we set aside the fear and the unknown, there's almost a sense of nostalgia looking back. Come with me and let's revisit some of the memories and trends and find the good in the midst of a quarantine.
Remember back when we filled our time filming TikTok dances and drinking mediocre whipped coffee, Google Meeting for classes, Animal Crossing tournaments, binging Tiger King with the family? Or what about the late night drives that we used just as an excuse to get out of the house? The past year has been very difficult and scary, but we've made it through the worst. Now we have new hobbies and interests thanks to that quarantine. This has been Emmy on BDTV.
President Joe Biden says in a demanding statement that he wants all of the adults who choose to be vaccinated should get the vaccine by the end of May. He also states that teachers of all ages are going to get vaccinated as well. There has been 1.66 million doses given. 724,000 people are fully vaccinated, which makes 8.98% of the state fully vaccinated. You can still choose to get vaccinated. Do whatever it takes to stop the spread of COVID.
COVID-19 has changed every single Wayne Township school, but Ben Davis has changed a ton since March 13th, 2020. Wayne Township was able to provide every student with a personal Chromebook due to us being virtual and in person. Luckily, we were able to come back on the hybrid schedule for the second time on February 2nd. In every classroom, all of our desks are social distanced by 6 feet. In the cafeteria and in the hallways, social distancing is also enforced. Masks are always mandatory at all times unless you are eating. But there has been some rumors about what will happen next.
Several of our procedures are going to be still in place. You know, everybody's still going to be wearing masks. We're still going to have staggered passing. The buses are still going to drop and go, so we have staggered hallways. They're going to have seating charts in every classroom. They're going to have seating charts in the lunchroom. I know that is not popular, and I understand why. We want to give people space in the hallways. We can't crowd. We can't stand in a group. So those processes are still very important, and in fact, even more important now that we are going to have more students in the building. We are so excited to welcome students back. So yes, April 5th, that is the day we return from spring break. And the buses will unload more students when they drop off on April 5th.
Kalia Wainwright, BDTV.
March Madness is here, and this is Devin Williams with the Community Calendar. This week through the first week of April, Indiana will host the Horizon League, the Big Ten Men's and Women's Basketball Tournament, and the NCAA Basketball Tournament. Tuesday, March 30th, 5 through 9 p.m. is Big Future Day, West and Southwest, a virtual college fair for colleges in the West and the Southwest regions. IHSAA Regional Championship will be Saturday, March 13th. We return back to school Giants 5 days a week, April 5th. St. Patrick's Day events will be held March 17th. I am Devin Williams, and this was the Community Calendar. We will be back after a short commercial break.
Are you going to the game this weekend?
I don't think I have anything to wear.
Yo, check her out. The Spirit Shop poster is right there.
Oh, I've seen these posters all around the school.
Oh wow, these stuffs are really cool. Nice hoodie. Nice shirt. Ooh, this is fresh.
And this is new.
And this can be you too.
To get your BD gear, visit the Spirit Shop website or scan the QR code on the posters around the school.
Hi, I'm Mike Morrow, and I am the instructor for the Area 31 new program, Digital Integrated Manufacturing. It's going to give the students the opportunity to learn digital integrated manufacturing and how that is used in industry, and this technology that we will be exploring is a thing of the future for employers to hire employees. If you're interested, then please go to the Area 31 website, and there's information on how to sign up for the Digital Integrated Manufacturing class. And we would love to have you in this class next year, and we're excited about being to give the opportunities to the students.
As 1 month of history ends, another begins, with March 1st being the first day of Women's History Month.
Countless inspirations and heroes, inspiring the generations behind them, making change and changing lives. It's something we just don't see on TV, but also in a classroom.
Women's History Month is amazing and important, and I think that it is important to be acknowledged.
During Ms. Harrison's time being the mother of the choir department, she teaches mainly female students and uses music to inspire and motivate them.
I teach predominantly women students, so that's been an awesome aspect to bring out in my music classes. We've been talking about women music performers, music writers, music arrangers that happen to be female. We know that the female have been underrepresented in leadership. We know that women need to see that these are a possibility for them. We need to be an inspiration for them. That's what I'm here for.
The best advice I've ever given.
Maya Angelou made a big impact on Americans' culture with her amazing poetry. She's considered one of the nation's wisest women. She became an author at the age of 41, but she's more than an author. She's a cook, a waitress, an editor, a director, and an actress. Maya acted in 12 different shows/movies. She's won 3 Grammys. Maya Angelou will always be remembered as the woman who changed people's way of life because of her amazing words of wisdom.
I don't know when I know enough. I know a lot, and I'm grateful for that.
The month of March is set aside to honor women's contributions in American history. From early activists to modern-day politicians and CEOs, the accomplishments of these women helped pave the way for all who came after. This year, we're looking back at all the women who helped us get where we are today. Susan B. Anthony was a women's rights activist known for her work during the suffrage movement in the early 1800s. Believing that every human is equal, she began collecting anti-slavery petitions at the age of 17. And she spent her whole adult life fighting for gender equality and the women's right to vote. Even though she passed away 14 years before women gained the right to vote, many leave their "I voted" stickers on her gravesite each election day as a thank you for her contributions. Lauren Moss, BDTV.
Mamie Smith made history in 1920. She became the first African-American singer to make a record of a blues song called Crazy Blues. Smith was a glamorous and multi-talented entertainer performing on stage and in film. Her musical career paved the way for many successful female artists. The song spoke with importance and fire to Black listeners across the country who have been wrecked by the abuses of race-hate groups. Within a month of the Crazy Blues release, it sold 75,000 copies and it will be reported to sell more than 2 million over time.
Always be.
Marie Curie is a Polish physicist and chemist who conducted pioneering research on radioactivity. Marie was the first woman to win a Nobel Prize. She was the first woman and only person to win the Nobel Prize twice, and the only person to receive a Nobel Prize in 2 scientific fields. Marie was the first woman to become a professor at the University of Paris in 1906. Kayla Ferguson, BDTV.
In 1958, segregation and gender bias was at an all-time high. But even with all these obstacles, Mary Jackson achieved her dream of working at NASA. Mary Jackson was the first African-American woman to become an aeronautical engineer. Not only did she graduate from a segregated school, she needed to petition the city of Hampton to allow her to take the classes that qualified her to work as an engineer at NASA. Mary Jackson's career as an aerospace engineer lasted 20 years, and she took a demotion to become a manager of one of the women's programs. Jackson went on and had a very successful career, and in 1985 she retired. NASA honored her after she died and named one of their headquarters the Mary W. Jackson Headquarters Building. Jackson was also portrayed as one of the main characters in the movie Hidden Figures.
It's March Madness, and what a better state to host all of the high school and college basketball games. Now let's go to Zion for the story.
This week, the Big Ten men's basketball tournament is happening at Lucas Oil Stadium. And due to COVID-19, the entire NCAA basketball tournament will be happening in Indiana starting next week. Charlie Clifford is the sports anchor for Wish TV. He will be covering some of the games this year.
Every city in America wanted this. There was not one major metropolitan area that would have turned this away.
With all of the buzz and outsiders entering the city in the next month, Indiana hopes that basketball can springboard its citizens out of the pandemic.
The effect is immeasurable in terms of psyche of just the citizens of Indianapolis, and then economically, you know, the impact could exceed $100 million.
Although it is an exciting time in Indianapolis, you won't catch the actual teams out and about very much.
There isn't going to be a lot of walking around for these players and coaches. It will really mirror the bubble in Orlando.
The NBA's bubble in Orlando was a huge success, with 68 teams and fans coming here to Indiana for the NCAA tournament. The question is, will March Madness have the same effect and end result as the NBA did? No matter what, this is a great event to have here in the Hoosier State. Zion Brown, BDTV.
Thanks, Zion. I'm Nira Sanders here on the Circle Downtown, and today I'll be asking people about their opinions on the NCAA tournament.
I'm thrilled to have all the teams coming here and the fans, and really it's an awesome opportunity to see Indianapolis shine.
One of the major or the most watched tournament in the country and around the world, to be staged in the city in the heartland of Indiana, in Indianapolis, where it's the Hoosier State. It's a basketball state, so I think it's a great thing.
I think it's actually pretty cool for Indiana. Not a whole lot happens here, so that's kind of cool though.
I think it's a new ball game, and there was a playbook before for what the Final Four and the entire championship looked like, but now that all of it is being held in Indiana, it could be anyone's game, and that is so exciting.
Battle of the West Side Part 2 happened this past weekend. On Saturday, Ben Davis played Pike for the second time this season, only this time it was for a sectional championship. It was a hard-fought back-and-forth game, but Ben Davis came out on top with a 68-56 win, with leading scorers Jaden Brewer, Clay Butler, and Zane Dowdy. Next up will be regionals against Lawrence North this Saturday at Southport. Tip-off is at 10:05 a.m.
Please get out to Southport and support our boys basketball team, and check out all the things that's happening in our state right now, because it's truly March Madness. And remember, if it's about you and me, it's on BDTV.